are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Yo, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, X, wherever you're listening to this or watching, welcome to another early morning and late nights with Channel Adrian TV. And on this episode, it deals with Sebastian Telfair, and it's a sad story. A former high school phenom in basketball, went to the pros, NBA, made a lot of money, lost all his money, spent all his money, got caught doing illegal things, and now he's back to where literally he started from. Now, I'm not here to make fun of him. I'm here to actually talk about that situation where a lot of men and women can learn about the whole situation of what happened to him. And it covers a few things that I've talked about in other videos. So, I just want to make sure I'm not making fun of him. And you know what I've always said, you learn from people's mistakes, so you never have to go through them. And it's going to be, I'm just going to point out some key things that he did say and come public about to where I've touched on in video, so you know what I mean. Number one, I did a video about this a few weeks ago, or a few days ago, I should say, and I'll make sure to link in the description. You can't help everybody. The amount of money he was shelling out to friends and family, and I understand you may want to help, but even if you're a millionaire, $1 million is not that much money for 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9, 10 people. It could be a lot of money for just one person. But if you're responsible for multiple people, you will go broke really fast trying to make people happy and trying to spend money to make them happy. And that's one of the things I don't think people understand, because it makes them feel bad. Now, y'all know me. I don't care. I have no problem saying no. And if you listen to that video of when I did, I did title, You Can't Help Everybody, I go into detail why, because at the end of the day, with my work ethic, the way I am is, if you had the same amount of work ethic as me and willing to sacrifice as much as I am willing to sacrifice, not go out to eat if I need to, or not going on a vacation if I need to, doing the necessary things that I don't know I need to be doing to get to where I'm going to go, you wouldn't need my help, because you would be all right. And I know some people are going to say, well, Adrian, that's your friends and family. They held you down. Yeah. But just because you held someone down doesn't mean you need to pay them. Then why was you holding me down? Because you saw an opportunity to get paid? And that's one. And then another point, especially when it comes to men, y'all gotta stop tricking on women. Now, I know he didn't really say him tricking on women, but just spending money, a lot of money on women, going out to eat and doing things you can't afford. And not even at a level like an former NBA player like Sebastian Telfair. I'm talking about how I know men who will do these summer vacations and they'll blow like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 grand, and then they could have used that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 grand to help their situation out, but they had to spend that money just to keep their relationship afloat. And at that point, to me, you're tricking, because if you don't spend that money to go on that summer vacation, you're going to lose her. She's going to be upset with you. And I know someone out there is saying, well, Adrian, you should want to do nice things and you need to get away. I agree with that, but it shouldn't take over priorities. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And she should be more into you to be like, I understand we can't afford it. As long as I'm with you, I'm cool. And I know some of you may have just laughed thinking that's a fairy tale, but there are women who are like that. And like I said, I know Sebastian Telfair didn't really harp on that, but as what he said in his DJ Vlad interviews and how a lot of men with money move, I know there's some tricking going on. And I'm not saying men shouldn't spend money on dates, but men always spend. The way I see it is, when it comes to dating, men should view dating as this. View dating as gambling. Say you gamble $40 and you understand you're not going to get those $40 back. So you take the L, you keep it moving. Do the same thing with dates. You take a woman on a date, let's say it's maybe $200. It may not go anywhere. She may be using you as a foodie date. She may not even like you like that, or there may not be any chemistry. Take the L and keep it moving. And that's how you should take it. Or I should say that's how you should view dating. And number 3, you gotta find a way to stay hungry. Whether that's writing the list, whether that's remembering where you come from. Because in that new documentary, when you're seeing him back pretty much in the same neighborhood he grew up at, he talks about, and I'm sure he even talks about, and I know for sure late at night, he thinks about what he could have done to be better and why he should have just stayed focused and not be around the wrong crowd and follow the wrong things. Now, I know someone out there is going to say, Adrian, well, what happened if the veterans in the league that he was around, or the people in his circle that he looked up to, lead him astray? I understand that. But this is why you're a man. At some point when you're a man, you understand how to break away from people who don't move how you move and go in the opposite way. The best example I like to use is going to the gym. No man should stop going to the gym just because their workout partner isn't going. To me personally, I've seen more women who move like that. But men who stop going to the gym because their gym buddy or workout buddy or whatever gym bro, however you want to call it, is not going to the gym anymore, so they stop going. I think that's a problem, because at the end of the day, you're a man. You have to, especially if you want to have a family, you got to be the leader of the family. How can you lead a family if you can't lead yourself? And so that's why when people say that about Sebastian Telfair situation, I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But at some point of you being a man, you got to be like, no, I got to break away from the stupidity, because at the end of the day, it's going to bring you down. That's why people I don't respect, I can't hang out with. And I know women get stereotyped of being fake. Men are just as fake when it comes to that. And knowing me, y'all, yeah, I can't be fake. That's one of the things people have said about me, about where I can't be fake. If I like you, mess with you, I'll mess with you. But if I don't, I can't fake it. And then number 4, which this point I agree with and I understand. Once you're at the very top, it's very hard to feel that you're replaceable. But in the video I just recently done, I'll make sure to link it in the description, we're all replaceable. Don't ever forget that. Everyone is replaceable once they lose their value. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, employee, NFL player, NBA player, coach, GM, CEO, any position you could think of. When you lose your value, you can be replaceable. Being one of the top high school players with LeBron, having that notoriety, especially that buzz in the city he had, I can understand to where he felt like untouchable, or he felt like he couldn't be touched. This is why I say, men and women, never lose your eye on the prize, because we're all replaceable. And I could go on and on about this situation, but I'm going to cut the video here. And I think I might do a reaction series based off that, because I think it'll be a good video, and I think I'll get some good views. And plus, on a lot of my reaction videos, when I talk about relationships and money and stuff like that, it's more of a teaching lesson to where you don't be, so you're not put in those situations. Because remember, as I've said, it's always better to learn from people's mistakes so you don't have to go through them. I appreciate all the support, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.